Welcome, and what do you have to say to the Fierce Formula? It's a community of real estate agents, appraisers, lenders, all trying to make it so that they get two high value transactions per month. And they join this community for tips and tricks. And what I noticed personally, I noticed that most of them struggle with, I shouldn't say most of them. Yeah, most of them
Huh?
struggle with making that content, right? Getting in front of the video camera like you and I are right now and doing it consistently every day, at least an hour a day. And some of them struggle with confidence. So when we had our little coffee meeting last week, and you told me about your leadership and what you do, I said, hey, I just made the connection. You'd be great
Yeah.
to podcast with and join this session so that one, I can share it with my social media followers, and at the same time, most importantly, those in the community that are working to get these high value, high ticket clients two per month, and at the same time struggle with confidence, you know? So that was a long introduction, I know,
Well,
but
yeah, that's
um
good.
wanted to, you share your official bio and how you can help my agents.
All right. So I am a leadership coach and leadership developer. And whenever the conversation of business comes up or confidence or and I have a little bit of a different take on like having the courage to do the videos and all the things we need to do. And
Mhm.
I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. But our business will only grow to the extent that we do. So it's a good place to start to say, oh, I need confidence, or I need to be more disciplined, or I need to do X, Y, and Z. But all of those changes on the outside only really happen when we change how we view ourselves on the inside. And the truth is, sometimes we just have to do what it takes. We've got to burn those boats and do what it takes and not wait till we feel up to doing anything or until we feel like we can or we're good enough. We waste a lot of time trying to get ready when, in fact, if we took action, we'd be ready much faster. We'd learn as we go. I say we can turn a moving ship, but if we're trying to get it out of the harbor, we need several tugboats, particularly if you're wanting to do big ticket consistent sales and run a business that's a business and not a hobby. That's not a little rowboat that you're getting up the stream and you're going to catch a rapid and the rest is history. That's a cruise liner or a cargo ship, and it has to be in motion for you to make the changes, to do the tweaks, to get where you're going. So it's always going to be an inside job. You're always going to have to start with what you believe about yourself and about what's possible. And when you start there, then you can make the shifts in the other areas.
Okay, well, that's good information. And when you and I were meeting, we talked a little bit about that, and we also talked about, confidence is not, well, let me ask you, is confidence something that you can learn, or it is something that's already embedded in you? What are your thoughts on that?
Confidence is very situational. If I take myself, I'm really confident when I have to speak in front of an audience, and I know I don't always ace it. That's not the point, right?
Yeah.
We're never going to have a 100% scorecard all the time, but I'm confident doing that. I'm very self-conscious and have no confidence when it comes to my health and fitness. I feel like an idiot. I have no idea what to do. I'm never going to get doing it myself. So confidence is actually very situational, and it's something we learn to believe about ourselves. The truth is, if I use myself as the example again,
Mhm.
If I started doing whatever exercise works for me on a daily basis, the confidence won't matter. It will come.
Yeah.
Yes, we can use affirmations and visualizations, and we actually should. But we truly build confidence when we take action, and we don't expect perfectionism from ourselves. So do the video that you were referring to. It doesn't matter if the lighting is perfect or the whatever. I mean, I've seen some people lately online, and I'm like, the fact that that man is prepared to be on camera, none of us have an excuse. And I don't know his name. There's just one person, and every time I see him, I'm like, what do all of us have to complain about? He's out there sharing his genius and his value. He's not stuck on what we look like. And truthfully, all of us, I mean, there's some things you can read up and say, how do I look better?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you've just got to do it. You've got to take the plunge, and then you'll get better at it. And when you get better at it, you feel more confident about doing it. And of
Yeah.
course, as soon as you're confident, then that's your comfort zone and you have to take the next leap. So we need to use the lack of confidence as a fuel, not wait for it. It's not fairy dust. We all wait for confidence or self-confidence to come and like glitter over us. It's not going to happen. It hasn't in the history of mankind. It's not going to start now.
You are right. It's like everyone's waiting for something to happen before they can. If only I had, right? And so if only I had maybe, I don't know, a teleprompter or better camera or better lighting, or if I had the time, if I had this. And truth be told, if they had all of that, they still wouldn't start. So you don't need you don't need a camera, you don't even need to look great, you don't need lighting, you don't need any of that. It will help, right? It will help, but you don't need it. So a good friend of mine, Atena, showed me when I was out in I think it was in LA, no, in yeah, in Beverly Hills, and she showed me a photo, Instagram photo of somebody that she follows. Um, it's a man, his stomach that looks like a balloon, and he wears his little shorty shorts and takes his shirt off and poses, and he is a high value coach. Like he is a billionaire, and he can jump in front of the camera with no shirt, belly hanging, poom poom shorts on, and flex and not care. So I don't know how long it took him to get the confidence to do that.
Well,
I feel as if he probably had it for a lifetime. That's why he is a billionaire. But you don't have to be this perfect image, perfect person, long hair, short hair, white, black. It doesn't matter. Get out there and share your knowledge. Everyone has something um that they probably should share, right? And you can't wait around for the win. So,
yeah,
that's definitely my take on that. So what do you think about leadership though? Because leadership is not for everyone, and everyone shouldn't be a leader.
I disagree.
Oh, okay. Let me hear. Let me hear why.
So I see leadership at three levels. So I see leaders leading leaders, right? Then I see leaders leading people or teams. And actually, both of those, you don't necessarily need a title. They are often in spaces where they have the influence. That's what leadership is, influence.
Mm-hmm.
But all of us have to lead ourselves. And so the question for me is never, are you a leader? The question is, how good a job are you doing of leading yourself? And then if you have the privilege and the responsibility of leading people around you. So now I'm going to link it back to my comment just now about discipline. When we keep committing to ourselves, no, let me flip it. If I kept committing to you to do something and I didn't do it, I never did it, would you consider me to be a person of integrity?
No.
So why do we think we have integrity when we lie to ourselves so often?
Well, we would if you promise to do something and all the time you don't do it, then I wouldn't consider you to be to have high integrity. Now, not to say you can't get there, and a lot of times you may be lying to yourself.
But
Like,
that's the thing.
hey, I really wanted to do it, but because I didn't have XYZ, so that makes me okay. But I think a lot of times we lie to ourselves about a lot of things. Like, I'm gonna, run my lie to myself is I'm gonna run a mini marathon. I'll run a mini marathon by the end of the year. We're already in October, right? In order to train for a mini marathon, we need to have at least, I don't know, maybe what, 6 weeks of
Well, we
training.
have 6 weeks to the end of the year. We have a
I
little bit
can't
more.
do it. I just lie to myself. I can't do
But
it.
that's the thing. And you know what happens, Deb? We make commitments to ourselves because we feel like we're obligated to. And that's one of the biggest failures in goal setting. We set
Mm,
goals that are not personally worthwhile and meaningful. We set goals because we believe everybody should be doing that. Now,
yeah,
should we all be healthy and fit and strong and not overweight? Yeah, of course, because our bodies would thank us.
yeah.
But if my priority right now is not that, then stop committing to it. So I know you can only see head and shoulders now, but I stopped setting weight goals years ago because it is just a lie to myself. And I built this statue and it erodes my confidence every time I lie to myself. I know I'm not going to do it. I want to, but I'm not going to pay the price. And so one way to erode your confidence is to keep making those commitments. And also, we think when we commit to doing something, we have to do it full out. Oh, I have to be like Deb. I have to post so many times a week and do it, la, la, la. Then we try to start off with a full marathon right at the gate, right?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, well, could I do the 5 kilometer run for, there was a charity one coming up. Can I do the 5 kilometer run? Or can I do a mini marathon walk? Because you can walk a marathon, you don't have to run it.
That's right.
And would that then start to say, hey, if I can do that, maybe I can walk all the way and just run the last mile next time, or run the first mile and walk the rest, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think one of the reasons we don't build confidence is we try to do what the experts do and forget that it took them 20 years or 10 years or 5 years to get there. And then as leaders with people or leaders under us, we expect people to like step up. We've learned this. I can tell you how to do this. Just get with the program. Well, you didn't get to the program the first week. You and I didn't get there the first week. It took time to get up to the standard of achievement that we have. So those two things, if the goal is not personally meaningful and a priority right now, then don't set it. Set something smaller and meaningful to yourself. And then do what you need to do to stack the odds against, not against you, stack the odds in your favor. Like if you do need to get a haircut, or you do need to get another blouse, or you do need to get a gimbal, or when COVID came, I had been using Zoom for a while because I had international clients.
Yeah.
But when COVID came and we had to use it all the time, I Googled and I found a video, how to look good on Zoom if you're over 50. And I know how to set the settings. And so we do what we need to do to give us the tools. But ultimately, if we set it low, achieve it, then we'll set the next one and achieve it. So confidence can be grown. like if you're referring to the guy just now, I think there are some people who just couldn't give two hoots. And in fact, it's part of their entertainment value. They use their flaws as part of the hook,
That's right.
right?
And that's a good strategy, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because we're more attracted to watch someone that's just raw, right? They're just, unapologetic themselves, and we are more attracted to that than someone that did a full on set professional commercial. And that's the growth of social media. A bunch of amateurs going around filming video, talking about things that people are interested in their language, in their tone,
Yeah.
and in their own settings, like in their home, in their garage.
Yeah. In the car, I see a lot of people
A
recording in
lot of you
the car.
just driving, like, when you drive, you just think about a whole bunch of stuff. Why not flip on the camera and do that video? It's so organic, right? Authentic. And it doesn't have to be so polished that you're doing a commercial. And so I think, I would love for my agents to really like kind of get it, like, just do it. Scared, afraid,
Yeah.
intimidated, embarrassed, just push forward no matter what, because in the long run, you're not getting a lot of people watching it in the beginning. It takes a long time for it to really kick in. And so, but it gives you reps, it gives you practice, it gives you the opportunity to get better and better each time. It gives you the opportunity to that 1% better. You watch and you're like, I said this, next time, let me try and say that. So,
You
we talk
probably want
a
to
lot.
practice with fewer people watching, right?
Right,
Make all the
yeah.
bad mistakes.
Better nobody's watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I look at somebody told me, no, honestly, I'm a little embarrassed about this, but up until last year I didn't know who Mr. Beats, who that was.
Yes.
And Mr. Beats, you don't know him? Okay, you gotta look him up. So
Okay.
Mr. Beats, Beast, um and he's very
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know Mr. Beast.
extremely popular.
Mhm.
And someone showed me his early videos, and they're just like awful. And he keeps them up there to remind himself and to remind people that he encourages and coaches and so forth, that you start out terrible, but then you can be, he has now like a library chest of videos that he claims it's in a vault for his kids and his grandkids and further on down the line to share, because he filmed every day, multiple times a day, and it's incredible. That's a really good story. And then I didn't know who Alex Hormozy was until probably last year
I do
or a
know
year and
who
a
it
half ago.
is.
And he shares a lot of his early on videos when he was trying to sell gym memberships. And it's really interesting because here he is a billionaire, and his videos are probably professionally filmed at this point.
Yeah.
But
That,
he has like 10 something X million viewers, and you can't compare yourself to folks like that. But what you can compare is they started off making real crappy videos, and they're not ashamed of it. To this day, they keep it up, and it's running, and it's posted, and they share it with people.
yeah.
And so that's what I wanted to share with the community and have you on. But like, give me a fun fact about you. You know, let's not just keep it all business. Let's share some.
I was gonna just say, I was when you were sharing about Mr. Beast and Alex Hormozy, I was gonna share about Ed Sheeran, because if you go look up, he shared his first recording. Like nobody would ever have, like, if he'd stopped based on what he thought of it or what other people thought of it. So now that makes me think, when people go on idols and they have those the guys who don't make it, and you go, family not telling you shouldn't be. Who are we to say they shouldn't be? Maybe they'll get better and something will happen.
Right.
So a fun fact about me: on Friday we celebrated 18 months in the USA.
Yay.
That was fun. We were at the alley on High Street. with my daughter and two of my granddaughters, my
Yeah.
husband. Other fun fact, I have 9 grandchildren.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's fun or painful.
So I love my grandchildren. I have an easier time with the younger ones,
Yeah.
but that's also a skill I'm learning. I was going through a module on communication, and I was like, it was asking me these questions. Do you listen without interrupting? And I'm like, not with the teenagers, because I'm like, I just can't stand this dribble. But this is my commitment, is to learn to listen to their dribble for a little bit, then I don't know, ask questions. So 2 of my grandchildren are in South Africa, and 7 of them are here in the US. What are the fun facts?
What's your favorite sport?
I go to my grandson's 2nd grade football, but I have no idea how to play the game, so I've got to learn that. But I guess my favorite sport, I don't play, would be tennis. I love tennis. I'm watching my one granddaughter when she plays hockey, and I think, oh, that might have been nice to do. But where I grew up, girls, well, there was no hockey even in the school, let alone.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I played tennis, and I really enjoy that. I'm a little
Favorite book.
out of touch now. When they give me the latest Wimbledon champion, and I'm like, who is this person? Never heard. Anyway, so I have to get back up to date with that.
Favorite book.
Favorite book? That is a tough one. Um, hmm, I have a few. I love the book Radical Candor. I will have to get you the authors' names, because I am not a very detailed
That's okay.
person.
Send it, email it over later.
I will do that. So
I can
Radical
share it.
Candor is something that I really, really find helpful. 4 Disciplines of Execution is another one that I use very often.
Okay.
And then there's a book called Change Your Questions, Change Your Life.
Okay.
So I think of the ones that I move through them quite a lot, because, and people often say, oh, have you read this new book? I'm like, there are millions of leadership books out there. You know, I could never keep up even if I tried.
Favorite movie.
Favorite movie. It's an old one. Along Came a Spider with Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
It's
All
an
right.
old one. I loved it.
How old?
Very old. 10 years.
Okay. All right. That's not that old.
Oh, let me think. Recently, well, not even recently, when we got here, we went to watch Inside Out 2 with the grandchildren. And actually, given our conversation about confidence, that movie is a little bit flawed.
How so?
Because it shows you that you have all these emotions running your life. What it doesn't show you is that you actually need to run and tame your emotions. They are valid. They're allowed to show up, and you should acknowledge them. But they're a bit like toddlers. You don't let them drive the car. You strap them in the back seat, in their child seat, and they can come along for the ride, but they cannot steer. And that's where people think of confidence as this feeling. It's like, oh, it's going to happen to me. Do it, and the confidence will come along for the ride. So that was one that I enjoyed. But I'm like, no, they're not giving you the full picture. They actually are missing the opportunity to tell you that you can manage your own emotions and use them, not just be slapped around by them.
If you can pick the perfect avatar for your business, who or what would that be, or what industry?
So because my business is very established, I've been doing this for 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm new in the US, but I'm very established internationally. I I don't have a specific industry. I've worked across industries.
Mhm.
But what I do look for is a business where either the founders or the leadership team are intentional about capitalizing on the potential within the people, because that is their biggest expense, is going to be your wages, your people. So teams of 20 to 200, where there's either growth, and now we can't do things the way we used to do it because then we can't keep up, or there's a challenge like the economy or the industry is under pressure and we need to come up with new ways. So the biggest value that I bring is helping you get clarity of where you really are at, what's causing you to be where you are and keeping you where you are, and then creating that roadmap. And then as we change people's insides, they start to behave differently and deal with the change and step up to the challenge. So companies 20 to 200 is kind of my sweet spot. And then I work with businesses like that. I can work with them over many, many years. I have clients that I've been working with for 10 years because things continually change and people get added and people get promoted and they need to be developed so that they're ready for the succession plan. So that's where I love to work.
Very good. What do you think? What are your thoughts on AI and how it's changing the landscape or will change or has changed the landscape?
Well, I was going to say just now, the more imperfect our videos, the more obviously we're not AI. So I think that's um, I think you have a different saying, but I like the saying that says AI isn't going to take our job. Your job will be taken by somebody who can use AI to go further. And so it is another tool. It has massive dangers. The whole, what's the new video one? Zorro 2 or something like that? Something like that.
Dora too. Oh, I've been playing with it all weekend. I'm just like a kid in a candy store. I'm so excited about it.
I know, right? But then you can have really, if we had cyberbullying before,
Yeah.
the risks here are big, which means we have to educate ourselves and use the tools. And the way my marketing works, I don't have drip campaigns and email marketing and things like that. And if we have a conversation, you'd probably show me how to do it properly and do it better so that it does work. But I do use it a lot. And I advised a client today. She has a team member who's really struggling. She's blaming everything in the business for her non-performance. And, as leaders, asking questions is our superpower. And I said to her, go paint the picture and ask chat. What are the questions I can ask this person? Now, you're not going to print it out or hand it to her, but it gives you a way to think about things that you wouldn't necessarily.
Exactly. That's what I like about it.
It
Yeah.
joins dots that we wouldn't see otherwise. Now, we could see it if we were in peer groups and being coached in groups with people of different expertise and experience levels. You could probably learn it. But with everything, you can learn things organically. You can get where you want to go, but you're going to be left behind if you're going to try and do it by yourself all the time. So I think it's dangerous when you say, hey, let me ask chat to coach me. I have an emotional awareness app on my phone, and every now and then it asks me, how are you feeling? And then it takes me through journaling, and then it'll say, okay, you should be doing this. And some days I'm like, dude, you're not on the right track here. We have the bigger picture. So but we've got to learn to use it. We've got to not be experts at it, in the same way that unless you're going to be a director, you don't have to be an expert at videography.
Yeah.
You've got to use the tool to achieve the goals that are important to you and live your own purpose. I did one day, somebody said, he asked a videographer whether he uses AI, and he said yes, and he says, oh, I won't tell anybody. And I feel like saying, dude, have you ever used predictive text? That was AI. Have you ever used a map? That was AI. Can you just get over yourself? AI has been around much longer than
I
people.
know the printing press is AI. It's really just input, processes, and output, you know?
There you
So
go.
we've used machinery to get, you know, further along way, way, way centuries before. And so I don't know why they freak out over AI right now, but it does help you see the blind spots,
Yeah.
right? And it connects the dots a lot faster than if we were trying to figure it out on our own or trying to get it from friends and family who often, you know, they're nice. They don't want to, you know, hurt your feelings. And some folks just can't afford a coach. You know, I don't know what your fee is, but I'm sure it's expensive. I know my fee is expensive because what I do helps you gain and earn so much more, so much money that, you know, the rate of return or the rate on your investment is so high, right? It's almost 1,000% that, you know, I think I'm charging too low, right?
Yeah.
So, but some people just can't afford it or they don't know how to gather the resources to afford it, which with AI, you can just go in there. How can I afford to hire Deb Spence or
Yeah.
Lana, right? And you know, and then you'll be better off. But anyway, sometimes, you know, proximity or information is not, you know,
Yeah.
out there for everyone.
So can I ask you this question? Did you
Sure.
wait till you could afford a coach before you got one?
Heck no. I
So,
wiggled my way into a community, right? I wrote I'll be honest with you, I shared my story of how I became AI expert. So there was this AI expert out in Australia. She's a good friend of mine now, but I wiggled my way into her community. I wrote this letter about how much I was like right there at the edge of knowledge, but I needed just this one extra push and my pockets were a little bit light and it was Christmas and all of this, you know, pulling at the heartstrings
mhm.
and got a scholarship into the community. And within 7 days, not only did I, you know, earn the funds, but I exceeded beyond my wildest expectations of
so
what I could earn. And so, yeah, I got resourceful, and that's what folks need to do.
so that is you can use a coach. But if I think about my conversation with a coach with a coachee earlier today, so I her daughter's graduated already, right? And when
Mhm.
I started working with her, I think her daughter might have been 5, right?
Wow.
That's a long time. And it's not ongoing because you should never be reliant on a coach, but every now and again we do a little cycle and so today we started it. And because I know the big picture as a real life coach, I can
Yeah,
say, let's join the dots from what's happening there to the frustrations you're having with your team. So I'm gonna say this. I paid for coaches. I paid more for my coaches. Actually, I do currently too. Pay more for my coaches than my coachees pay me.
yeah,
Why? I can't. How am I going to grow if I'm paying less than what I charge? That would
right.
be ridiculous. So you'll find if you go look, there's a way. And you and I both, if
Mhm.
somebody comes to us with that justification and that hunger, we are not going to say, I don't work pro bono because both of us are committed to seeing other people succeed. And I love that rising tide raises all ships,
That's right.
especially in this community, right? If we can get everybody to flourish and thrive, everybody wins, even those who didn't work for it, you know?
Absolutely. I love it.
So, so yes, you can use AI for a coach, but I'm guessing we still have an edge as humans sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. We have an edge. The combination of intelligence, machinery, and you know, human interaction.
Yeah.
Well, it's been around for so long, and it's just now it's getting better and better. But you have to have a combination of the two,
Yeah.
and that's the only way, and that is the only way that you'll succeed in 2026 and beyond. And if you're saying no, I don't want any type of human interaction and do it on my own, or I don't want, you know, AI to help me, then, you know, you're going to be like, I always use Blockbuster. What you're going to be fixed mindset. You're not going to see the future, and you'll get left behind.
Yeah.
And that is sad, but you know, everyone has to come to a point in their life and their journey where they decide, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yep. I
And
want more. I am
yeah,
capable of more.
yeah. So, thank you so much, Lana. How can folks reach you if they have more questions, if they like to hire you, or they like to
Have
invite you
coffee.
into their community for, or have coffee, right? Or invite you into their community and podcast with them. So share your info.
Okay, so I'm not afraid of my mobile number being out there. So 484-347-0515. And I'm on LinkedIn, Lana, and then in brackets, Geyer, Geyer, my maiden name, do you call it a maiden name? And then
Yeah.
my last name is Potgieter, Potgieter. So LinkedIn is the best place to get me. I am on Instagram and I am on Facebook, but I'm more likely to find you, or you're more likely to find me if you text me.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have that in the comments below and all the videos that we share. And then obviously anybody in the community, it'll be in the bio section that I created for Lana. You could just click on there and reach out to her. So Lana, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And
Thank you.
you know, I hope some people reach out to you if they're struggling and if they just want another perspective, right? You know, sometimes, you know, you may not be the right connection and the personality differences and all that good stuff. But yeah, so
I
thank
had
you so
some
much.
coaches I had to fire, so it's
Yeah, but you know what? Even bad coaches, I've had bad coaches over the years. I even learned from the bad ones.
oh for
You
sure.
can learn from any coach, good, bad, indifferent, bad personality, pushy, non-pushy. You know, you just should hire one. You should hire someone to make you accountable and help you and push you
Yeah.
along. Yeah.
So just you said if somebody needs help, if you don't need help but you want to go forward, that's also fine.
Reach out anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
because
just reach out anyway. Be a friend to her. You know,
yeah, I'm
we can
new.
all use friends in this space. Uh, Leaders attract leaders, so let's all, you know, be friends together. And you know, we'll probably invite you on the beginning of the year. That's always a time people reflect on, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
smart goals and stuff like that.
yeah, for sure.
So gotta run, jump
Thank
into
you.
another call.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deb. Always a
Okay.
pleasure.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye.